Greetings and peace be upon you, dear friends. I hope that you are always in good health and wellness. Today's story is titled, The Judge's Intelligence and the Caliph's Riddle. I hope you will enjoy it. In the time of the Abbasid Caliphate, the administration of justice varied from one judge to another. Some judges were impartial and ruled justly, while others deviated from the path of truth. During that period, a particular judge gained a reputation for his exceptional intelligence, strict fairness, and rare skill in uncovering the truth. He was known for his insight and ability to read people and grasp hidden details that others might miss. His fame spread throughout the Abbasid state and reached the ears of the Caliph himself. One day, as the Caliph sat in his court listening to his ministers and guests, he heard one of them recount the story of this fair judge. This tale greatly intrigued the Caliph, prompting him to visit the judge himself to verify the truth of what was being said about him. The Caliph, who valued justice, always sought to ensure that the pillars of the caliphate were strong and fair, so that every wronged person would find someone to support them, even if it was the Caliph himself. Not wanting to announce his arrival, which could have influenced the judge's behavior, the Caliph decided to disguise himself as a strong and astute Arab merchant. He prepared some money, dressed simply, mounted his horse, and left his palace on a long journey to the city where the judge lived. His journey through the desert was challenging, facing scorching sun, fierce winds, hunger, and thirst, but his curiosity about the truth behind the reputedly fair judge outweighed all these obstacles. Along the way, he met caravans and listened to stories from shepherds and traders about their daily lives and trade conditions, which only fueled his enthusiasm and determination to reach his destination. On the 5th day of his journey, as the sun rose, the Caliph approached the gates of the city. The bustling markets caught his attention, where various goods like fabrics, spices, and utensils were displayed. As he entered the city, he noticed an elderly man sitting by the roadside, appearing poor and crippled, unable to stand. His worn-out clothes reflected his condition and suffering. Moved by compassion, the Caliph dismounted his horse, took out some money, and offered it to the man. The cripple thanked him and blessed him, but as the Caliph was about to leave, the man grabbed his robe tightly, surprising him. The old man pleaded, "O noble sir, you have treated me kindly. Please carry me with you to the market, as I cannot walk." After a moment's hesitation, the Caliph agreed out of wisdom and sympathy. He helped the man onto the horse and continued his journey toward the city. Upon reaching the large market, the Caliph asked the cripple to get off the horse, saying, "We've arrived at the market. Get off now so I can continue my journey." To his great astonishment, the cripple replied boldly, "Get off your horse? This is my horse, and you are not its owner." Shocked by the cripple's audacity, the Caliph realized that the man was trying to seize his horse by deception. The Caliph tried to explain that he was the true owner and had only carried the man out of kindness, but the cripple raised his voice and called out to the passers-by, "People, this man is trying to steal my horse. Bear witness to this!" Soon, a crowd gathered around them, looking at the Caliph with accusing eyes. Disguised in simple attire, he seemed suspect, while the cripple appeared pitiable and deserving of sympathy. The Caliph tried hard to convince them of his ownership, offering oaths to confirm his honesty, but the people did not believe him. They began discussing tales of deceiving thieves pretending to be honest. Amidst this commotion, someone suggested that they go to the judge to decide between them and determine the real owner of the horse. Relieved by this suggestion, the Caliph agreed and told the cripple, "I agree. Let us go to the judge." The cripple smiled slyly and said, "And I also agree. We'll see who the real owner of the horse is." So the Caliph and the cripple headed toward the judge's court, located in a large square crowded with people waiting for their turn to present their cases. As they walked, the Caliph noticed groups of people in disputes. For instance, there was an oil seller and a customer arguing over money. The Caliph thought to himself, "It seems I am not the only one seeking justice from this judge." If the judge can resolve these complex cases intelligently and fairly, I will have witnessed his fairness and wisdom firsthand." As they waited outside, the courthouse, the Caliph, observed other conflicts among the people, each presenting different claims. One scholar and a farmer were disputing the ownership of a slave girl, each claiming her as their own. Despite the growing crowd watching curiously, the Caliph saw this as an opportunity to test the judge's fairness and ability to solve intricate cases. He believed that a judge capable of resolving such tangled issues deserved recognition for his intelligence and justice. Finally, everyone entered the courthouse waiting their turn. When the usher announced for those with complaints to come forward, the proceedings began. First, the scholar and the farmer presented their case regarding the slave girl. Each recounted their version, but neither had documents or witnesses to prove ownership. After listening carefully, the judge postponed his verdict until the next day to think deeply about the matter. Next, the oil seller and the customer presented their case. Both reiterated their stories, each insisting on their innocence. Again, the judge postponed his decision and requested to keep the disputed money overnight for careful consideration. Lastly, it was the Caliph and the cripple's turn. The Caliph narrated how he met the cripple at the city gates, showed him kindness, and carried him on his horse, only for the cripple to falsely claim ownership of the horse. The cripple responded confidently, asserting that the horse belonged to him and accused the Caliph of exploitation. The judge instructed both parties to leave the horse with him and return the next day for the verdict. That night, the Caliph reflected on how the judge might handle these complicated cases. The following morning, the crowd eagerly awaited the decisions. The judge first addressed the scholar and the farmer. He tested the slave girl by asking her to perform specific tasks, noting her familiarity with precision work typical of a scholar's household. Thus, he ruled that she belonged to the scholar. Next, the judge examined the disputed money by placing it in water. A small amount of oil floated to the surface, indicating that the money had been handled by the oil seller, thus confirming his ownership. The judge returned the money to the seller and punished the deceitful customer. Lastly, the Caliph and the cripple presented themselves again. The judge devised a clever method. Each man would enter the stable alone and call out to the horse. The Caliph went first. Upon seeing him, the horse neighed joyfully and nuzzled against him affectionately. When the cripple entered, the horse reacted defensively, moving away and even raising its legs in a protective stance. Based on the horse's clear affection for the Caliph and aversion to the cripple, the judge declared that the horse rightfully belonged to the disguised Caliph. He ordered the horse returned to the Caliph and sentenced the cripple to 40 lashes for lying and attempting fraud. After the ruling, the Caliph felt immense relief and admiration for the judge's sharp intellect and unique ability to uncover hidden truths. Revealing his true identity, the Caliph praised the judge, saying, "I am the Caliph of this land. I came here incognito to witness your justice and intelligence firsthand. You have exceeded my expectations, and you deserve respect and commendation." The surprised yet humble judge bowed respectfully and thanked the Caliph. Impressed, the Caliph promised to reward the judge with a higher position and increased salary, ensuring that news of his integrity and fairness spread throughout the Abbasid state as an exemplary model of justice. The people dispersed, speaking highly of the judge's wisdom and how he exposed falsehoods and supported the oppressed. Meanwhile, the Caliph returned to his palace in Baghdad, reassured that there were upright individuals in his realm, standing firmly against injustice and upholding justice with wisdom. Some time later, another challenge arose far from the city, in the vast deserts separating villages where Arab tribes traded, farmed, and raised livestock. Among the prominent tribes in the peninsula was a great man named Nazar bin Mad, a respected leader known for his wealth and generosity. Nazar had 4 sons, Mudar, Rabia, Ayad, and Anmar, and wanted to ensure harmony among them after his death. He gathered his sons in his tent and gave them instructions, dividing his extensive properties symbolically, referring to items such as the red tent, black tent, gray-haired servant, and pouch containing coins. In case of any confusion, he advised them to seek the counsel of Al-Afa al-Jurhumi in Najran, a renowned wise man skilled at solving complex disputes. After Nazar passed away, the brothers struggled to interpret certain phrases in the will, especially distinguishing similar properties. Remembering their father's advice, they embarked on a challenging journey across the desert to consult Al-Afa al-Jurhumi. On the way, Mudar astutely deduced descriptions of a missing camel based solely on environmental clues, impressing his brothers. Upon reaching Najran, they found themselves amidst another dispute when a Bedouin accused them of stealing his camel based on their accurate description. However, Al-Afa al-Jurhumi discerned their reasoning abilities and dismissed the accusation, advising the Bedouin to search for his lost animal independently. Subsequently, the brothers explained their predicament regarding their father's will. Al-Afa brilliantly interpreted the symbolic language, assigning properties according to color patterns and characteristics described by Nazar. Grateful for his wisdom, the brothers thanked him profusely. Before departing, Al-Afa invited them to stay overnight as his guests. During dinner, the brothers noticed peculiarities in the food and drink, speculating about unconventional sources or origins. Intrigued by their observations, they decided to discuss their insights openly with Al-Afa the next morning. Honored by their perceptiveness, he revealed personal details about his own upbringing and lineage, having been purchased as a child slave and raised by his adoptive father. His openness deepened their respect and admiration. Inspired by their intellectual exchange, the brothers accepted Al-Afa's invitation to extend their stay in Najran. Over several days, they engaged in enriching conversations, sharing stories, and knowledge about Arab customs and traditions. Through these interactions, they learned valuable lessons about understanding people and situations deeply, recognizing that true wisdom lies in perceiving underlying truths and subtle details. When it was finally time to leave, the brothers expressed profound gratitude to Al-Afa al-Jurhumi. Carrying souvenirs symbolizing insight and wisdom, they returned to their tribe, enriched not only materially but also intellectually. Their experience taught them that genuine knowledge stems from the ability to comprehend deeper meanings and nuances, and that shrewdness can be a powerful tool. Back home, they became respected leaders, passing down the tales and teachings of Al-Afa al-Jurhumi to future generations. Thus concludes today's story. I hope you enjoyed it. Peace and blessings be upon you all.